Let us look at how we evolve as learner. We evolve as learner through the 3 stages. First stage is acquisition, where we develop the basic abilities and cognitive structures about a phenomena, about a field. After the acquisition phase, we reach to the specialization phase, where the development of the specialized learning style also takes place. Our specialization in the content is deeply connected to our unique or specialized learning style. And then comes the integration. Integration is about adopting the world by increased integration of different modes of learning. So, we need to ask ourselves, what do I do after knowing my prominent learning style? We need to make conscious effort to move from acquisition and specialization to integration in the journey of our development. We need to face and embrace the individual difference. We must recognize that some of my participants, some of us are divergers and some of us are convergers by their socialization, by their trajectory of the personal development. Some of us have more tendency and more liking for abstraction, and some of us will naturally have more liking for the concrete experience. So, we need to accommodate, we need to appreciate the personal difference. There will always be difference. No two people can have exactly similar learning style. So, naturally 2 people will have different approaches when they solve problem or when they deal with some issue. So, we need to recognize this, we need to respect this individual difference. Third, we must make space for good conversation. Many times we might have felt puzzled, might have felt exasperated while discussing with some people. Sometimes we might have blamed that these people just do not get my point. They may not get your point, but I also may not be getting their point, because our learning styles are different. Our way of grasping and transforming information is different. So, it is important to appreciate the personal difference, and after recognizing the difference, I need to identify what is the commonality in my understanding. We will have more patience to reach to the point where I can see the commonality of our experience and understanding, when I have appreciation for the different learning style, and when I have appreciation of the fact of life that people learn differently, people have different approaches of learning, and they will have different learning styles. Make space for acting and reflecting both, that is what we just discussed, and then recognize and deal with emotions and create the climate of positive emotions, because emotions are inevitable part of the learning process. We may, in the science, we may say that science is value free, there is no place of emotion. That does not mean there is no we can deny the role of emotions in the life of students of the science or social sciences, or in the life of learner or a facilitator. Emotions will always be there. We need to channelize these emotions, and when we have appreciation for different learning styles, I am able to create a climate of positive emotions, because acceptance is a first situation or first requirement to create a climate of positive emotions. Let us look at how we can use Bloom's taxonomy and Kolb learning cycle together. We looked at the Bloom's taxonomy and realize that how it can be helpful to place our learning objectives at appropriate level. Before going to the class, we need to ensure that what is the level of learning objectives I am aiming at achieving with this group of learners or with this learner. So, Bloom's taxonomy help in that, and Kolb learning cycle can help to choose the combination of the learning methods to engage the learners. If in my classroom, learners who have preference for concrete experience, they will look for more day-to-day examples, they will look for more simpler examples in your classroom. If you are able to connect your theory with the real life situation, they will be able to appreciate, they will be able to learn better. those who are high on reflective observation are good at generating multiple options and developing multiple perspectives about some phenomena. We need to recognize that, and in session we need to create opportunity for the reflection. Maybe the opportunity of the reflection can be created even after the session. One method of this to promote the reflection is called photo voice. We have been using it in our courses at IIT Bombay, some photo voices. What does that mean? It means you need to write down, you need to, if I teach a topic, if I take a session on a topic, on a certain topic today, I ask my participant to submit in 2 days something called photo voice. What it is? It is you take a picture or download a picture which tells your learning in that classroom, and then you write down in at least 250 words why you chose that picture to depict or report your learning took place in this class. This is one way of ensuring the reflection, and it is more helpful for people who are high on RO. Then a class need to have a concept, particularly for those who are high on abstract conceptualization. For them, theory and models are very important. We need to must summarize whatever we have discussed. We need to give a structure of the class, we need to give a structure of the course in the very beginning, because without that people high on AC will not be able to connect well with that kind of instructor. For them structure is important, for them stating a priori what you are going to do in the classroom is important. So for them we need to, for them especially we need to make our teaching plan and must share it with the class. Active experimentation. When I teach a topic, I may also ask students to reflect. I give opportunity for students to reflect, to generate option, to look at this thing from different perspective. I may give a theory behind it, but if I do not tell them what is the practical uses of that, what is the practical utility of that concept, where in the practical life that concept is applied, if I do not tell these things, people high on experimentation will not be motivated. So how do I engage the active experimentation? We can use that through the assignments which require them to see how that information can be used. We can, so if you, the case analysis, project, assignments, live projects, discussion, all these methods have to be used in sync with the learning cycle, because when I am using reflection, I am entertaining those people who have more tendency, more liking for reflection and observation. So we need to create such occasions in the class where they also, the people have the opportunity for observation. We need to create opportunity in the class, we need to give concrete examples as far as possible. We need to experience them through touch and feel about the concrete experience of any phenomena. If I am teaching motor and I also bring motor in the classroom and explain the different components, some people will value it a lot, some people will be able to learn it much better. So we need to choose the appropriate demonstration, projects, assignments, our learning strategy, learning and the teaching process according to the different 4 types of learning, and we need to do that under the guidance of the Bloom's taxonomy, which tells us how to identify the learning objectives at the appropriate level. So these are the concepts. If I ask you at the Bloom's taxonomy, what is your level of learning about Bloom's taxonomy and Kolb learning cycle? Most of you will say that after having this session, we were able to reach to the understanding level. Probably some of you may not have reached even understanding level. They may not remember what Bloom said, they may not remember what is the Kolb learning cycle, but they might remember the names. That is the remembering level. But understanding level is when I can explain what is the use of the Bloom's taxonomy, what is the use of Kolb learning cycle, what it tells about people, what it tells about the learners and the teachers and facilitators. Then we are at the understanding level of learning according to the Bloom's taxonomy. And most of us after such sessions have reported that their learning happens at the second level of the Bloom's taxonomy, about Bloom's taxonomy and Kolb learning cycle. So, these are the concepts. These are the concepts can be useful only if you practice it. So, that is why there is a science and there is an art. Science is factual, you know what it is and what it is not. So, there is some scientific element into these two concepts. However, they will not automatically create the joyful and effective learning experience in the classroom. For the joyful and creative experience in the classroom, we need to use these concepts. We need to use these concepts in the course after course and session after session, and we will be able to unravel many aspects, many subtle aspects of the Bloom's taxonomy and the Kolb learning cycle, and realize its potential for us to create a joyful and effective learning experience consciously. Thanks very much for your involvement. Wish you very best for the learning and teaching process.